Okay, we're looking at linear growth and decay. So linear growth is basically a line that looks like that, or that, or that. Okay, so what do we notice about all three of them? They all have a positive slope. Okay, they could have different steepness, but they're all increasing from left to right. Whereas linear decay is going to look like that, down, or down, or down. Okay, so would this be linear growth or linear decay? Well, obviously this is linear decay because we're decreasing in value. This one is also linear decay. And okay, so we've got linear growth. The characteristics is that the same value is repeatedly added, so our slope is positive. Linear decay is the same value is repeatedly subtracted, so the slope is negative. Samples of equations in slope-intercept form. Okay, so basically they're all y equals, right? And then we have an x on the other side, and some have an extra number and some don't. Okay, the general form is usually we say y equals mx plus b, but it could also be y equals b plus mx. It could also be b plus mx equals y. But basically you're looking for the y on one side by itself, and there's going to be a number next to your x, and then there's going to be a number by itself. All right, I'd like you to pause the video right now, enter this into another window, and watch this video, please. Okay, so what we've learned, all right, this is your vertical intercept. So that's on your vertical axis. That's what we're going to start at. We're going to start at 4. This is our slope, just like we had in the last chapter. It's rise over run, so up 1 over 2. All right, this one starts at 3. So we went right here at 3. Then we went down 4 over 1. Down 4 over 1, drew ourselves our line. All right, so let's try one on your graph paper. Let's do y equals a half x minus 7. Y-intercept is negative 7, so I go all the way down here to negative 7, and then I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Give me at least 3 points when you're graphing, please. Okay, there's only one answer. You got to have the y-intercept correct, and you've got to have your slope correct. All right, so let's try another one. Let's go y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1. So I start at 1, and I go down 2 over 3. Okay, and then I'm going to draw my line. Okay, y equals, let's switch it around, 5 plus 2x. So I'm going to start at 5, and I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Okay, it's very similar to what we did in the last chapter. If you remember, we had something like y equals 4x. Okay, that meant you started at the origin, you went up 4 over 1. Well, it's the same equation as what we're doing here. It's just we don't write plus 0. All right? So that would look like up 4 over 1. It would look like that. Okay, obviously we don't have to put the plus 0. Okay, so you can ignore that. Let's see. Let's switch it around. Let's go with 4 minus x. Okay, so I'd start at 4. And remember, this would be like down 1 over 1. Or up 1, back 1. Okay. All right. It says this table shows the coordinates. I don't know if you can see it. I'll bring it down. Shows the coordinates of points that lie in a line. Write an equation for the line. Okay, you could do this a couple ways. One could be, if you had yourself a piece of graph paper, we could just graph these points. Negative 6, 6. Oh, lost my pen. Negative 6, 6. Negative 3, 7. And 0, 8 was the next one. Okay, and then you could figure out the equation of the line from there. All right, your slope is up 1 over 3. And our vertical intercept is right here where it crosses the x-axis. So it would be y equals 1/3 x plus 8. Or we could figure it out from here. Okay? So what you do is you figure out what's the pattern. How do I get from here to here, from here to here, from here to here? Well, that's plus 3. How do I get from here to here? It has to work every time. That would be plus 1. All right, so we think about our slope. Our slope is rise over run. Well, that would be our change in y, because that's our up and down axes, right? Over our change in x. Well, my change in y is 1, and my change in x is 3. So that's my slope. So y equals 1/3 x. And then where x is 0, y is 8, so that's my vertical intercept. Same answer, just done a different way. Okay? Here's another one. So if I add 1, that's going to get me my change here. And from here to here, this is all minus 2. So my slope would be -2 over 1. All right, and now there's no 0 in here where the x is, but we can figure it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That means my y-intercept is 12. All right, here's our story problems. It says you have a box of 25 oranges from the banned fruit sale. Let's say your goal is to eat 2 oranges a day. How long will it take you to finish the box of oranges? All right, and we got to do all 3 of these things. First, we're going to model the situation with a table and a graph. All right, so a table would just be like this. So we'd have our day, and we'd have our number of oranges. So when we got it on day 0, we had 25 oranges. After day 1, I ate 2, so now I'm down to 23. Down to 21, down to 19, etc. All right, that's our table. For our graph, go to your graph paper, and we're going to draw in some lines here. Okay, and let's put our number of oranges. Oh, let's use a black pen. All right, so number of oranges up the side, and we're going to put the day across the bottom. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, however long this is going to take us. All right, and then let's go up the side. Let's count by 3s. Okay, so on day 0, when we first started, we had 25, so that's going to be about right there. We had 25 oranges. Each day, we ate 2 oranges. So from 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Oh, it's down a little further. 15, 16, 17. Okay, and we're just going to keep decreasing by 2 oranges. All right, you can see how that would make a straight line. And then once we get down here, we can figure out how many days that would take us. Okay, you can plot that out. Oops, back to the problem. So that would be our graph. We did that. I didn't complete it, but you get the idea. And then find the slope of the vertical intersect of each line. Explain how they're related to the situation. Okay, so let's go back over here. We had the slope, that's what it asked for, right? Slope and vertical intercept. All right, so our slope would be down and over, down and over, down and over, right? So we went down 2 over 1. And what does that represent? That represents that we ate 2 oranges every 1 day. Okay, so we decrease from the original box. And the vertical intercept is going to be 25, representing the number of oranges we've started with, or in the box, to start. Okay, and then for the third part, so we did that, and now we're on the third part, model the situation with an equation. Well, all we have to do is write that into an equation. Well, that's easy. Y equals, my slope is -2, and my vertical intercept is 25. There's my equation. Okay, let's try one more like that. It says you're saving up to buy a car. Your parents have said that they'll contribute $2,000. If you save $250 a month, how long will it take you to save up enough money for a $5,000 car? All right, so let's start with a table. All right, so we have months, right? Months. And then this would be our money. So at 0 months, technically, they're probably not going to give you the $2,000 until you earn it, but technically, we've got the $2,000 already, right? After month 1, you'd have $2,250. After month 2, $2,500. Okay, and then we could continue that table down. All right, so we got the $2,000, saving $250 a month. We want to keep going until we hit $5,000. All right, so let's go ahead and also draw that as a graph. Horizontal. Okay, so let's see. We had the money. And we had months. Okay, so month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and we want to count up to $5,000. All right, so let's count by 500s. Whoops, that's 3,500. Okay, so technically we're going to start out here at the 2,000. Again, they're probably not going to give you the money right away, but eventually we'll have it. And then $250 each month until we get to this $5,000 line. All right, looks like it would take us, I gotta continue my counting here. It looks like it would take us 12 months. Okay. So, let's see, we did that. We got the slope and the vertical intercept. All right, the slope is gonna be up and over. Well, I'm going up $250, right? And I'm going over 1 month. Okay, so that represents the $250 saved per month. All right, our vertical intercept is going to be the 2,000, and that represents cash from the parents. Cash help. Okay? And then our equation for C would be y equals, well, my slope is 250 plus 2,000. Okay, and then that would be our 3 possibilities that we needed, okay? Because we did the table and the graph, we found the slope and the vertical intercept, explain how they're related, and then we modeled it with an equation. Okay.